Dang it, I was too slow on switching the video over. I am ashamed of myself. And welcome to another episode of the Sharp Side of Paranormal. I am your host, Cody. Um, Thank you all for last week. We had a lot of people tuning in, it was great. Doing something a little differently this week. Not only am I streaming to YouTube and Facebook, which I'm getting the green checks. I'm also streaming to our guest, Clarissa, both her Facebook and her YouTube, but I'm also streaming to TikTok as well. Hopefully, it works out. I don't know. So, if you're watching on TikTok, what you're doing is you're actually watching a live stream from my iPhone that is broadcasting the YouTube channel. So, yes, um, one more episode this year of the Sharp Side of Paranormal, which will be next week, and then we're off until next year. But I'm excited for today's guest, Clarissa. She is a fellow paranormal investigator, as well as she actually hosts a paranormal convention, which we will talk about when I bring her in. So she will explain it all. Everybody, welcome Clarissa.
Hi, everybody.
Yay.
So glad to be here. Thanks again for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for agreeing to be on my show.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yep. 1000%. Love to be on here.
Hello, Brandy. We've already got people in the chat. If you have any questions for Clarissa, you can actually ask us, and she will answer the questions. She says she is an open book.
Yes.
So let's see how open of a book she is. So, what got you into the paranormal?
So my story is a little different than a lot of people's stories. A lot of people I hear, they had paranormal experiences or they've always just whatever, got them in. It's kind of the same, similar story. My story is a little different because I didn't really pay attention to the paranormal until I was much older, and I got into it as a medium back in 2015. So that's when I entered the field. There's a big difference with being not part of the field and being part of the field. And so I entered as a medium, and it grew from there. And the reason I got into it, because it's kind of weird to say, like, I just got into it. I did have paranormal experiences as a kid. I did have paranormal experiences as a teenager. But as an adult, I just ignored that stuff. And in 2015, I was in a very different part of my life, a different chapter, a very dark chapter. And I guess I was just looking for something that felt natural. And mediumship was something that came very natural to me. And so that's how I dived into this whole field, was just I was in a spot in life that was just not my best years, and I wanted to make them better. And by doing so, I accepted mediumship and started getting into it, and it's totally changed my life completely.
So, what was your first experience? When did you realize that you had the ability, medium abilities that you could, communicate with the dead?
Well, it was before my first reading. Before my first reading as a child, I would have premonitions, dreams, always had tons of deja vu, um, seen deceased, seen the dead. But before my first reading, I kind of like thought about all that, and I'm like, I could do a reading. So I didn't get the confidence to say I was a medium until after my first read. And I did my very first reading online with no photos, no face to face. It was all chat, and it was very successful. And that one first reading made me confident enough to say, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. That felt good. It felt right. Let's keep doing this. And just over the years, I just build and build up from there.
Now, do do medium or do readings regularly, or is
I
that
do,
something?
I do actually. I do residentials, and then on top of residentials, I used to do readings at conventions, but that's too exhausting for me, so I don't do that anymore. But a lot of times, it's usually friends that reach out to me. They want me to read somebody that they know that's passed, or it's somebody who's been following the page for a while. Brad Ferris, for instance, he loves to send me criminal cases, missing person cases, and I read those for him. I will read those for friends. I don't know if a family ever came to me if I, because a lot of times there's a lot of graphic details in these reads, so it would be really hard for me to do that without being like, this disclosure, this could get gross, this could get bad. So but I've read a lot for Brad, so he's sent cases to me. My friend Carla sent cases to me, so I've done a lot of those. But typically it's friends of friends. By reference, I get usually residentials by reference. So yeah.
Now, what's the craziest residential that you've ever done?
The craziest residential. And see, I heard your little story on the podcast and with Nick Carboni, and I will tell you, it's not that crazy. I would be floored if I would have had that experience. Really, honestly, most of the residentials I've had have been pretty calm. I'm trying to think. I know there was one down in Indianapolis area that I did a residential for. There was lots of evidence that they had to share, and usually you don't see that. You usually don't see a lot of evidence from the homeowners. It seems like it's more like paranoia or something else is going on. But these people actually had a lot of evidence, and we were able to speak about their a fire that had occurred a couple years prior to their shed, and then there was a creek nearby where a boy drowned. Um, those are probably some of the intensive reads I've done at a residential, but it wasn't scary. I've not had the experience you had. Okay, that was a whole other ball game. My residentials have been simply, let's cleanse a house. The family's not comfortable. We did have, well, I take that back. We did have one residential where they were claiming that they found little boy underwear and like other crime scene stuff in a wall. And I don't know that I believe them. But they did have it in a bag to show me. And I was like, why didn't you send that to the police?
That's
And
weird.
they're like, oh, they won't believe us. And I'm like, this is kind of, it's like people scary, not ghost scary. I'm like, I feel uncomfortable. Yeah. So
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, obviously, my residential case that everybody that you keep reference, it
mhm.
was pretty crazy, but
Yeah.
wasn't weird like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I've had a lot of weird ones.
now, do you think that's just because of who you are that you get a lot of weird ones, or is
um,
it?
well, like I said, it's usually by reference. Usually somebody wants a medium, so that's usually how I go, is as the medium. I rarely have gone as an investigator. It's always been, come walk this property. And I said, and I'll go do it. But I don't know why I get the weird ones. And I know not to just believe everything I'm told. I know better. I know that we do, just like you guys were talking on there. Um, Doing, like, making sure it's not a drug problem, or making sure it's not a mental health issue. Like, I know to look for those signs also, which I do. But yeah, I always take an investigator with me just in case they want to see the gadgets, because sometimes they're just excited at this point and then they want to see all the gadgets and they want to see what it does. And so yeah. But I've done a lot of repeat customers and people reaching out to me at later times just to kind of be like, hey, it's getting better. Hey, is there a way to come back out? Stuff like that. So I try to build those relationships with them.
That makes sense. Now, we do have an audience question here.
Sure.
Just on an investigation, not a reading, where did you get the most intelligent responses?
Ooh, just on an investigation, not a reading. So I would say a couple of the places I'm impressed with when it comes to investigating, we're talking pay to play locations. One would be Waverly Hills. The other one would be the mysterious Monroe House. Um, Another one that we had pretty good responses is the old Kosciuszko County Jail in Warsaw, Indiana. That one's pretty good. Um, those are probably some of my top three that I've had good responses, intelligent. Literally, it's like we're having a conversation with them. So, like a long conversation, not just like, oh, they got one or two answers and then they're gone. It's like long conversations. Yeah,
Um,
Brandy, that's
Brandy's from
awesome.
Brandy's from Warsaw.
Yeah.
I love investigating with Brandy. We just went to the Monroe House, so I
Yes,
am
did. Was it good?
yes. It never disappoints. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
Um, First time I was there, I got the famous cat ball video that
Mm.
everybody has seen. That was rolling on the table,
Yeah.
and it, Van would love to investigate that. Where you love to investigate everywhere. And the last time Bam actually has this doorbell thing, and
Yeah.
it's motion activated, and it just kept going off the whole night. Like we couldn't figure out what was going on. Hey, Sky, it's Sky. Um, yeah. So, the old Kosciuszko County Jail. Yes, I
Oh,
would love
yes.
to go there. What was your experience like there? That's a place that, and then I'm going to ask you about Waverly because those are two locations that I haven't been yet.
Yeah, so the old Kosciuszko County Jail, I was introduced to it from an old group that I was with, like 2017 or something. But it was at one point in time run by Marianne and Evelyn Pratt. I don't think they have the same last name. Marianne and Evelyn, they're sisters. Rest in peace. Evelyn has passed since, but Marianne's still around. I don't know if she still has it open to the public. She did last year in December, but I think you have to know people to get in there. So, because it's not really open to the public, it's not like you can go to a website and get in, book it or whatever. Because there's very specific times that they had available back when I booked it last December. But I first had a good experience there in 2018. I did the world's largest ghost hunt there, and I did that with Marianne Evelyn, and it was with Heart City Paranormal. Phil Gibson. Um, we all investigated there together. We had audible things that some of the other team members could hear out of their own ears. I was doing automatic writing and wrote something down about a sheriff. And at the same time, we got one of the investigators could hear somebody coming down the stairs, and somebody on one of the EVP said something about he's coming, meaning the sheriff is coming. So they were making their rounds at the time. So that was a really good experience. Every time I've gone there, I've had an experience, but that was one of the most notable ones. And that was during the world's largest ghost hunt. So it was all on video.
Isn't that always great? Like when you actually catch stuff on video,
Yeah, it's
because
nice.
it's very nice because I've had a lot of stuff that has happened when
Mm-hmm.
I'm not recording, like either when I'm like setting equipment up or tearing equipment down.
Yeah.
Uh, that's why I'm just gonna buy a body camera just so it
Yep.
rolls the whole time. But because like I've had stuff happen and it's just like, oh, this happened. Well, did you get it on video? Well, no, because I was like setting up my security camera system
Mm-hmm.
or I was tearing it apart. And it's no joke because that stuff takes forever to set up. Like you're getting
Yeah,
and it yeah, it's just frustrating. Like, when you miss, good evidence. So
it is. Well, and when you get there, like all you want to do is get started. You just want to dive. Like, who wants to spend 30 minutes an hour setting up cameras when you can be like, let's do this?
now Bam will testify to this,
Yeah.
and Sky will too. So we went to ISS back in October.
Okay.
And it was the second time that I had ever used the security camera system, but it's such a large location.
Yes.
So it took me literally 2 hours to set up 4 cameras because I ran like 1,500 feet of cable
Oh
just
my
to
gosh.
and it was worth it though,
Yeah.
because I was able to get the 5th floor and the 3rd floor of the residential. I was able to
Okay.
get the nurses station and then the one hallway and the nursing home. I was just a few feet short of being able to get one in the front room of true story. Uh, um, I was just a few feet away from being able to get a camera in the administration building. Now I have enough cable that I'm thinking uh completely scared me by screaming up at a window because you could see me.
Oh,
Yes. Um which they left me. Everybody just left me and started investigating while I'm
yeah.
finishing up everything. And I had to find them and it was dark out and I'm like,
Mhm.
ISS is scary. So I, you know, don't I don't like
It's
that.
it's extremely dark out there. Very
I
dark.
love it. It was the place I went to my first ever paranormal investigation. So
Oh,
I
did
have
you
a
did you happen to see any bats?
the first time I was there, there were a crap ton,
Yeah.
and I've gotta give Greg and his team over there, they have been doing a phenomenal job with, rehabbing the location and getting rid of the bats. I don't think we saw any bats the last time we were there, maybe, like, 1 or 2, but the first time I was there, there were a ton.
Yeah.
So we did see a lot of spider yes, lots of spider crickets. Yes, no more
Spider
bats.
crickets.
Oh,
Oh,
man. Those things, they, like, just we were in the tunnels because, like,
yeah.
Sky got this great idea, like, it was, like, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. She's like, let's let's go through the tunnels." So we went from the outer tunnel all the way into the administration building, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
uh, "Hey, look at this. I'm investigating the Monroe house right
Woo!
now."
That's awesome,
Yes.
Travis. Why
Yes.
didn't I get an invite, dude? You know I'm like 30 minutes away.
But because you're doing that. I mean, you coulda
I
gone
know,
live
it's true.
I
Still.
mean, you coulda gone live at the Monroe house. That would've been sweet. We just
Yeah,
showed
could
the
done
guests.
that.
So you mentioned Waverly, and that's
Yeah.
on my bucket list of places,
Okay.
um, to go. I wanna know what your experience at Waverly. That's weird.
I'm just trying to fix it. It keeps doing this. I have to get a new one before my podcast go live. Find me. It's fine.
I I just have this cheap one that I got from Walmart.
Yeah.
I got the invite an hour. Okay, that's legit. 1 hour before the investigation.
Just saying though, dude, I'm like Monroe House is like right down the highway from me.
Waverly is amazing. Yeah. Everybody I know has gone to Waverly. Almost everybody.
I
That's
love I don't get this camera. So I will tell you about Waverly. I've been to Waverly one time. It's not going to focus. Give it a minute; it'll focus eventually. So I've been to Waverly one time. It was in July of 2017. We were at a public, and it was like I've heard horror stories about Publix there being like, oh, there's just too many people, you know. We have maybe 20. So not a bad group for a 5-story gigantic building. Um, and it stormed that night, which made it even better. But there's allegedly like a creepy crawler or whatever in the one floor. I didn't see that. But there is on the top floor, there was a mischievous little boy who somehow got a hold of my flashlight because we did a pendulum read and we were all sitting together and with my equipment beside me and the flashlight went missing while we were doing that reading. until we were packing up and I realized it was missing. Somehow it got clear across the roof by the trash can. And I pretty sure it was that little boy. Another weird thing that happened to me was I actually saw a full body white apparition there. That's probably the only time that I say physically see something as opposed to mentally, because when I do readings, I can visualize a lot of things. But physically, this literally took me by surprise because I was not paying any attention at all. And I physically just, I seen it. It like went right past me. Like we were walking the same direction. So that was pretty impressive. I'm going to fix this yet. Driving me nuts. Look at that face.
So Brandy asked, "Did you zoom right on down the road? What are you talking
Did
about,
I zoom
Brandy?"
on right down the road? Oh, to go to Monroe House, I can. Oh my God, this is terrible today. I hate this camera right now.
Oh, Travis. She was asking Travis.
Oh, he lives in that area too, so I'm sure he got there on time.
I just realized that it was not, so my TikTok is running on a separate computer.
Oh yeah.
So it was getting the mic from my computer as well as the sound from the stream. So it was kind of looping. So I had to fix that real quick. Your podcast. So speaking of that, we can plug your
There's
podcast. There it goes. So we can plug your podcast. So you're starting a podcast. You're starting your podcast back up in January.
Yes. So I've had Unveil Paranormal, the podcast, since 2021. I'm pretty sure it's been. Last season we did evidence reviews. Me and Brad Ferris. He helped me out on that season. This next season that's coming up, it starts on January 10th at 8 p.m. It's going to be every Wednesday. We're going to do something a little different. I've done the whole like having guests on the show, and I've done the whole like tarot readings, and I've done the whole like evidence reviews. Like I've done a variety of things on the show because I like variety. And we're gonna do something new, and you guys are gonna have to wait for that announcement.
Oh, come on.
It's going to be completely different than anything I've done. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but we're going to make it happen. So I'm really excited. It's going to be, all I can say is it's going to be different. I can't tell you more than that. Welcome so I was supposed to have the video ready by tomorrow to go live, to share what it's going to be about. I'm not done with it.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you could share it with us now, you know?
It's going to be different. That's the answer I got.
You know what? I'm excited. And, you know, with January, you said January 10th?
January 10th is the first episode.
January 10th. So we're going to all have to watch that.
Absolutely.
So you've alluded that you had listened to the podcast that I did with Nick.
Yeah, I did. I had to.
I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, I had a lot of thoughts anyways about the bell. So if you guys didn't listen to it, Nick Carboni used to be a part of OWPS, used to be part of the bell. Our guy here used to be part of the bell. So I had to listen to this episode because I was curious, because I had my own opinions about the bell forever ago. Way before anybody else really had opinions. So, well, thank you. I'm glad that you guys they really enjoyed that podcast.
I'm still waiting for the backlash. There.
Yeah, I would anticipate it. So I will just say this. This is what I'll say because I'm an open book and I really don't care who likes me or not. Um, I met the lovely couple, Nick and Angie, before they started, and the Bell, before the Bell even became a thing. Always adored Nick, liked his vibes. He had good, positive vibes. I got blocked and banned shortly after the Bell had opened because everybody knows my ex-boyfriend that I dated for 2 years. You might not know him, but everybody in the paranormal field that's my friend knows my ex-boyfriend that I dated for 2 years. Was part of OWPS for a short time, and we were broken up at the time, so I got blocked. I'm sure maybe that had something to do with it. Who knows? But anyways, my issues were always the same. One, I always thought it was overpriced. This is from the get-go. This is from the very beginning. Two, I didn't like investigating with all the lights on. And three, I didn't like investigating with so many people there. Sound travels there. So it wasn't the best experiences I've ever had on investigations. Again, they were public. You can't really control the public too much. But I did have one public investigation, and then I went to a New Year's Eve party. So, long story short, I still don't go to the Bell. I probably won't ever go to the Bell. It's a beautiful building. It's unfortunate that it's not run by people who are passionate about the field. In my opinion, I do believe that was Nick's dreams, not Angie's dreams. She's just taken over, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Now I
That's
just piss people off.
I am 34 years old, and that is what I've been doing my whole life is pissing people off. So
Yay, we'll get along.
why stop now? My
So,
wife's watching this and she's like, shit. Um,
but yeah, so I mean that's why I wanted to listen to it. I wanted to hear what had all happened and all that. I didn't know actually half that stuff that was mentioned until I listened to that. I didn't even know half that because again, I was blocked by like everybody that had to do with that situation. And I'm just happy now that me and Nick are friends again on Facebook and all that fun stuff. And he made a smart choice. It's unfortunate, sad, but you got to go with your heart, and you can't just keep toxic around.
I agree with that. And that's the problem. There's a lot of toxic people in the paranormal community. There's a lot of drama in the paranormal community. And now I have to lots of drama surrounds it. Want no part. Exactly. Mic drop. There we go. So yes, there has been a lot of drama, and unfortunately, I have been in some of the drama.
Yeah, you
But
drama king.
well, that's because I was writing for a magazine. So like I literally had to live the drama to get the good scoop. I mean, that's how I wrote the story about Ghost Hunts USA is because I was in the drama.
Really? You're part of that.
Oh, I wasn't part like
Okay.
I didn't work for Ghost Hunts USA, but my first investigation I ever did was a public with Ghost Hunts USA.
Okay.
And a lot of the people that I'm friends with in the paranormal community, worked for Ghost Hunts USA.
Yep.
And I happened to see a TikTok video. So the Unrefined podcast, BJ and Mitra, they do a podcast. We actually used to be part of a TikTok group called Team Best B. So I
Okay.
have followed them forever. It started during COVID, and it was just a bunch of parents and stuff like doing
Yeah.
skits and stuff. It's a fun time,
Yeah.
and so BJ shares this video from Courtney, is this woman's name, that she had bought tickets to go to the USS North Carolina with Ghost
Mhm.
Hunts USA. Ghost US Hunts USA shuts down. She files a dispute with her credit card company, and then Ghost Hunts USA replies back and says she got her goods and services, like she
What?
paid for it. Yeah. Yeah. So I interview her because I'm doing a
Yep.
story,
Yep.
And she kept saying her credit card company. And I was like, okay, who's the credit card company?
Right.
It was Capital One.
Okay.
This is probably why my Capital One credit cards got canceled. Anyway, so I reached out to their PR team. I'm like, listen, I'm writing a story. And
Mhm.
within an hour, I had a response. They wanted her phone number so they could call her.
Oh
So
Lord.
they called her, and within 3 days, she got her money back.
She should. I mean,
Exactly.
she should. The idea behind Ghost Hunts USA is clearly the motivation there was money. I would see their ticket prices, and then I would go look to see how much it costs to book it. And then I do the math. Like everybody should do the math. Are they profiting or are they not profiting? So the thing is, I have mixed feelings about those type of things because I will host public investigations a couple times a year. I try to not profit off of it because the whole point behind me hosting publics is to let people who can't typically afford to go for like it's like $500 say to go. Not everybody has $500 just to book a place by themselves, but some people want to go, but you tell them it's going to be 30-40 bucks, they'll go. They will split that cost with you. And in order to split the cost, you either got to be part of a team, you got to have friends in the field, whatever. um, or you host a public. But when you're charging, $120 for a $500, building, and then you're selling like 30 tickets, that's a huge profit. That's like what, 2,500? I don't know, whatever, math. I don't do math in my head. You know what I mean? Like it's a massive profit. And that was my problem with them. And then when I found out about like people not getting to, refunds and all that stuff, I'm like, I knew this was trash.
Yeah, I mean, the wife and I paid I think it was like $169 a person to go to ISS. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we got like $338 tied up. No, I think it
Mhm.
was more than that. Whatever. To go to ISS. Yeah, yeah, you can rent that place out for like $1,200, or you can rent it out on like a Sunday through Thursday for like 750.
Right.
So yeah, so I got 2 more people. I would have been able to to pay for the whole thing. So
Right.
it's just like, and I understand they're a business and they got to pay their employees, which they didn't pay their employees.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
but yeah, it's just ridiculous. Hi, Angel and Lindsay. Um, my guests last week. They're
Oh,
absolutely
okay. Hello.
fun fun to investigate with, and ISS is way expensive.
Yeah.
I tried to go lower on my public tickets, but there was no way.
Yeah, I get that. Absolutely. It's too much. And the people, they need to make something off of it. The people that own it, they have to be able to upkeep it, all that stuff. So I get it.
That's
I get it. But when you're making like Ghost Hunts USA was making, that's a huge profit.
exactly, and that's why I'm thankful for, like, the Pythias or
Mhm.
the Monroe House, because it is extremely affordable,
Yes.
and um they actually do a good job.
Right.
Like the Monroe House, I bring it up. You got a fridge full of pop. Like,
Yep.
and it's like $35 a person. I drank the last time I was there, I think I drank $35 worth of pop just myself. So,
Yeah.
there are locations out there that, do the right things, and then there are others that
Mhm.
are expensive. And now I get ISS is expensive and they had to raise their prices, but they are making it a better experience there for us.
That's
Like
good.
they're rehabbing, completely redoing the superintendent's mansion. It's going to be a bed and breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I'm excited for that. They got Wi-Fi there now. Um, it
Okay.
it almost to the actual Adams Hall, it, like, stops working right at the entrance, but, like,
Yeah.
so in administration, you can kinda get it. So, eventually, the whole complex um, will have Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Well, I really hope like everything is like going to turn around. That ISS, I kind of caused a huff there for a minute. People were not happy because I actually posted about how many bats there were. I went in May with Sky and a couple other friends and stuff, and I had a miserable time because of the bats. There is not a lot that scares me in the paranormal. Bats are my kryptonite. I can't investigate with that crap. It's something I know. Like some people are like, "Oh, we used to go into abandoned buildings. There's bats everywhere." Blah blah blah. Look, I am paying to be here. Okay, if I have to pay to be here, I want it bat free or pretty damn close. There were massive bats in there, and it sucked. And it wasn't too terribly bad until it started to rain and they all went inside. So I spent a lot of time outside that night for sure.
Yeah, I there it was there in April.
Okay.
Um, there were quite a few, but this past time in October, I don't think maybe 1 or 2 bats. So I know
Okay.
they're doing their best. Like, they put a bunch of new windows in Adams Hall.
That's good.
So, it's very nice. One buzzed by my face the second time I was there. It touched me.
Oof.
Ew. Ugh. Gross. So you have a paranormal convention that you run.
I did have a paranormal convention that I ran, but I will tell you why I'm saying I did.
I was just gonna say, why did it go from did or why is it did? I want to hear this.
Because Para Unity 5, that's what you're referring to, right?
Yep.
Unveil Paranormal was the host of Para Unity 5, and I killed it from what I'm told. People loved it, had an awesome time. But it's not just me who helped run that. So Para Unity out of Peru, this was the 5th year in October. They are a whole group of members we call the committee. I am now part of the committee. I was last year too, the year before, but I'm not the host this year. I am just a committee member. So, yes, I do still help run Para Unity in
Okay.
Peru, Indiana. However, every year, so this is a little different than most conventions. Conventions are typically ran by the same person every year. However, Para Unity wanted to make it inclusive. We wanted to make it pure Para Unity. We want paranormal people involved. So this year, I got to vote for Para Unity 6's host, and it's going to be Trips Paranormal, based out of Huntington. They're part of TAPS. Are you familiar with them?
I am 100% familiar with Teresa.
Yeah.
I have actually investigated with trips. I was invited to go to Post Town Elementary back in May with
Okay.
them.
Okay.
And I actually went to Teresa's house,
Yep.
um, which is I guess the location for Para Unity 6, because
Perhaps.
she posted it on her Facebook.
What? She
I'm
did
pretty
not.
I'm
I
pretty
need to read my committee thing. I need to read it.
I think she did. I'm pretty sure she did.
Am I out of
Um,
the loop?
yeah, apparently. So, so
I need to unmute the chat.
uh, I, so I went there in July actually,
Okay.
because she had a dinner party,
Okay.
so
Yep.
with a bunch of paranormal investigators,
Yep. She
and her
did.
There were a couple of people from the Ville Mansion there, and
Yeah.
uh,
Happens.
uh, and that was yeah. So but it was my wife and I. But we had to leave early because I had an interview for the magazine that I had scheduled, and I forgot about this dinner party. I'm sorry,
Yep.
Teresa. So we left early, and apparently they got some really good evidence at the location. And then I guess was it yesterday? Teresa emailed, or yeah, she sent me a Facebook message. One of her security cameras in the auditorium, like, got motion and sound triggered, and there was nobody there but her, and she was not in
Ooh,
that portion of the house. And you can hear footsteps in the video, which is really,
that's
really cool.
creepy.
I know. So yeah, she's actually hosting an investigation there tonight. Um, she's
I
gonna
need to go there and investigate that place.
well, let me know when you do it. I would absolutely love to investigate with you.
I've never been there. So I talked to her and she said, "Yeah, just let me know when you want to come out." So that's my plan
It
to come out
it's
and
a
investigate there.
The fact that they bought an old Masonic temple,
Yeah, and it's
and
a cool looking building.
it is really nice. I am jealous. I wish I had, like, they have so much room to do stuff. First off, I would hate to see the heating and cooling bill,
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure.
um, but yeah, like, I don't know. So, okay, so you're not the host
I am not
next,
the host.
and unfortunately, I didn't make it to 5 this year because I had to work.
Lame.
I know. Because paranormal, unfortunately, does not pay, and it's very expensive to be in the paranormal. So you gotta
It's
make money somehow.
like very expensive hobby.
But it's a fun hobby,
It is. It's a great hobby.
except for the drama.
Yeah.
And Sky's always causing drama, so it's okay.
I think I do pretty good staying out of the drama. Anytime I've been brought in any drama, it was like I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was part of it until somebody told me. They're like, "You don't know this?" I'm like, I wasn't there." So
So I know I got the invite. You're hosting a private investigation
I
on New
am
Year's Eve.
for
On
New
New
Year's
Year's Eve.
Eve. Yep. Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to attend yet.
That's all right.
It's still up in the air.
Yep.
So the Pythias.
Yes.
How many times have you been to the Pythias?
Once.
What was your experience like there?
I wish the Pythias could be open to the public on all floors. Because I would say the most intense time at the Pythias would be the basement and the first floor, for
Yes.
sure. Um, we were on the first floors at the beginning of it, and I like thought I was going to pass out. I was just standing in the middle of there, and I was like, I had to go walk outside because it was like a sudden thing, just rushed up on me, and I thought I was going to pass out. At that point, I knew like there's definitely some stuff in here because that doesn't happen often. It's happened at some places, but not very often. So yeah, I would say highly recommend the Pythias. I highly recommend going to Shabby Al at all just to shop because she has a unique taste in items and I love it. I love the items she has there.
I always have a good time. I've been to the Pythias 3 times. I was just there a couple of weeks ago. Um, and Sky got a lap dance from me uh, by accident.
Oh, by
Um,
accident.
so we're in the basement, and she's like sitting across from me,
Yeah.
and something like grabs the back of my neck, and I like jump up, and I forgot she was like right there, and I fall right into her lap. So I'm out of breath on every floor. I understand that for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
Um, like, I always get it doesn't matter what location I'm at, I always get full on sat in my lap. You enjoyed it. I get touched no matter where I'm at, and, like, the shabby owl in the Pythias is no joke, we're down in the basement, it's Brad and Sky and a couple other people. This was the second time I was there, and, s I'm going to sit down and something grabs my ass. Like, full on,
Yeah.
like, you could feel it squeeze, and I'm just like, "What the heck was that?" I'm like and then something was, like, all over Brad too, so
Yeah, he gets that there, I think.
I think it's that Sarah, the spirit Sarah.
Yeah, they've talked about Sarah while we were there, I believe. Yeah.
It's a fun time. I definitely recommend it, and it's like $160. You can rent out the Airbnb
Yeah.
upstairs, and it's totally worth it, even if you just are on the top floor,
Right.
because that great room, you do get a lot of experience or, experiences up there.
Yeah.
Um, I am sad the one closet's now being used as storage. I did
Yeah.
a solo in that closet and had a good time.
A good
Um,
time in the closet.
yes.
Why do you think it is that you get touched everywhere you go? What do you think is the reason for that?
I share or that I share custody of the ghost from what I've heard from the owner. Um, so I so I'm very sensitive. I wouldn't I wouldn't full on say I'm a medium. I mean, I've had, deja vu. I've had, you know, I guess visions in my dreams and stuff has happened. Um I think they first off, the spirit's gonna rise out of me because they know, like, I'll scream like a little girl. Um, you laugh, it's no joke.
I believe it. I believe it.
Um, I don't know if it's that or the fact that, I have been an EMT in the past.
Okay.
So, like, I don't know if they seek me out because I am, like, there to help. I
Do
I I
you call it, would you say you're empathic by chance? Like
I
you feel energy, you feel people's like the emotions and the feelings they get?
shut up, Randy. Um Uh, you know what? Yeah, sometimes I do. I I would say so at the Bell Mansion, there's this little boy spirit named Andy. He's up on the third floor, and one of the times I was there, I felt sorrow.
Yeah.
Like, cause he here I am, and now I'm learning to control it. Um, I guess he followed a paranormal team from ISS to the Bell Mansion.
Oh. Okay.
So from what I understood, he was a patient there when it was a TB hospital,
Okay.
and his family, like his mother died there and he died there.
Okay.
All paranormal evidence, nothing like concrete to back that up.
Yeah.
Um, but just like one of the times I was there by myself up on the third floor, just, talking with him. And I just started crying for no reason, just started crying
Mhm.
and just felt like angst. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that, is empathic or not, but it was definitely an experience.
Well, the spirit will typically go for whoever they're comfortable with. So if they're sharing or using your body essentially to show the emotions that they're feeling, they're probably very comfortable with you. Just about anybody can be affected by a ghost, but a lot of people don't understand. And that's the difference. If you're understanding why you're feeling a certain way, or you got more than just I'm more than just sad. I'm sad, and this is why. Then you're picking up on what they're trying to tell you. You know, some people just their emotions change and they don't know why. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's got to be why I get messed with at every single location. I think they get a rise out of it, and I think they feel comfortable with me.
Yeah.
That could be why. I don't
Do
know.
people just talk to you naturally, like humans, actual people?
Yeah, but I don't like talking to people. No, I yes. So I can like strike up a conversation with anybody and people
Yeah.
just like start talking to me. It's sometimes it's like, listen, I haven't had coffee yet. Stop talking to me. Um,
I feel that. I feel that so much.
what the heck was that?
What?
There was I don't know. You sound like me now. There was some kind of noise behind me, and there's nothing in the basement with me. Like
Well,
the kids and the wife are upstairs.
so I time stamped the time at around 48:49. You had a white streak go down and out like that right by your head. But all I did was look the clock. I didn't want to stop you and be like bug or not a bug, but you might want to replay it later. It's around 48:49 minutes. So
I will have to.
I don't
Great.
know if anybody else seen it, but I seen it.
Great.
So it's when you're
That's
talking about the person from the Bell or from the ISS and the Bell. Yeah,
Andy. Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, I'd be excited. I would totally be okay if he was here in my house with me. And now my wife is gonna kill me and I smell sage burning. Just kidding. The last time I saged, I woke up outside. So, you know,
oh God.
sorry, I have to do that joke. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have do you have any paranormal tea? Because this has been the week of like paranormal tea been dropping. Do you have any more paranormal
Oh,
tea?
no, I do so good at staying out of the drama. I think I do good at staying out of the drama. Um,
That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
so I would say I think the Bell thing was the biggest tea that I saw going on this week. I do like to watch other people and they spat at each other. Like you see the typical spats about orbs and whatever, and but I don't have any
Uh,
good tea.
I so I am not gonna go into full details about this. It's not tea. It's just it has to do with orbs. So a
Okay.
paranormal team, L&M Paranormal, who I'm actually interviewing next week, which is
Okay.
going to be the final episode of the year,
Okay.
sent me a video from a residential. And I have to say that it is the best orb. I would call it an orb that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say like what it does,
Okay.
but like they get a shadow, and then
Yeah.
later in the video, they get this orb. And I just like replayed it over. Like Mike just messages me. He's like, Cody, I'm gonna send you a video and I need you to call me after you watch it. And
Okay.
my jaw was all the way to the floor. So
That good of an orb.
yeah.
Wow.
Uh yeah, so they are he is he's gonna be talking to the owner of the house to make sure it's
Mhm.
okay to publish that video. If we get the okay, they are going to debut that video on my show next week.
Nice.
But it is, and you know what? There is always that argument of orbs, but this one is clearly not something with it's not dust or anything.
Yeah.
It's clearly not, and you'll see what I'm talking about when you see the video. They sent it to Nick Carboni as well,
Did they? Okay.
these videos, because 'cause they're friends with Nick,
Yep.
and his response was just like, "Holy shit." So, um, yeah, but no, there are people, "Oh, this is an orb, it's an orb." No, that's dust. That's
Right.
literal dust. Like, I don't know if you're part of the Facebook group Indiana Paranormal Investigations or not.
I'm part of so many groups. I can't keep track.
So there's this lady here in Fort Wayne that kept, like, sharing pictures, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I think something's going on in my house." And, I don't know if Sky, if you remember the lady, but this lady's she's from Fort Wayne. She kept sharing these pictures, but, like, you could clearly see that the photo, like, she's moving the camera as
Yeah.
she's taking the photo, and she's like,
Oh
"Oh,
god.
look at that light, it's, like, streaking." I was like,
Mhm.
Ma'am, you're moving the camera when you're taking the photo. There's nothing paranormal." "Oh, I need a paranormal team to come out to my house." I'm like, "No, ma'am, you need to put the camera on a tripod
Right, and then take a
and
photo.
and take a photo and not move the camera." Like, yes, it's ridiculous
Yes,
how
for
so much
sure.
is. Now, I kinda got into an argument with Teresa earlier this year
Yeah.
on one, because I'm like, it's so it was from Post Town. I'm
Yeah.
up I we're in the mean teacher's room.
Okay.
I have a cat ball, I have my EMF reader, and I'm shooting it with my IR camera. The cat ball goes off, and then all of a sudden my EMF reader just starts spiking up, and then you see this, like, thing fly across the screen, like, almost at the same time. Everything, it's like in progression.
Yeah.
She says it's dust, and I'm like, "No, it's not dust." I was that person thinking
Mhm.
that it
It's
was.
you can dispute that stuff, like, but sometimes you can tell it's an orb. And to me, an orb is a light anomaly usually. It's usually more of a light. It's just rounded, smaller, whatever, and it moves. It's not, you know, that's usually what it looks like. That is an official orb. Orbs do exist. I actually made a t-shirt that said hashtag orbs life matter, orb lives matter. And then we didn't, nobody wanted it. So I was like, fine. Because they
That would have been
do.
funny though, or lives matter.
Orbs, they do though. Everybody's like so hating on them.
I oh, I don't think I have the video. Dang it. I know I have it somewhere, but I can't remember where I put it. But yeah, it was a good video, and
Yeah.
I thought it was an orb, but it's nothing like, I don't know. It's but yeah, there's people that argue that all the time, and then
Mhm.
there's the people that go into locations. It's a demon, it's a demon, it's a demon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
For
not a
sure.
demon. You can definitely tell the difference. What real quick before we wrap this up.
Yes.
So there's a location in South Bend
Yep.
that has a celebrity that does investigations there. Do you know who I'm
Oh,
do you know who I'm talking about?
in South Bend?
The Birdsell Mansion?
I've not been there.
I am not. I smell sulfur. That's just Melanie after at the Monroe house.
So what about the Birdsdale?
So you know who Corbin is, it Corbin Bentley? Corbin Bentley.
Yeah, I've seen the name. I probably follow him. I am the worst person to ask about paranormal celebrities because I don't watch TV.
I wouldn't say he's a paranormal celebrity. He's a self-proclaimed celebrity,
Okay, like
para-celebrity.
YouTuber.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber. He's been on a couple of shows, like, as a guest.
Okay.
Anyway, so he has this video. So he's in the
Okay.
basement. I dislike him, and I don't even know him. So he has this video. He says he's standing out in front of this doorway for 2 hours trying to catch something, and he magically starts recording at this exact moment.
Yeah.
The door's shut, and there's light underneath the door. You can see something go from the left to the right.
Okay.
He starts freaking out and then goes in. And immediately, what would you do if you saw a shadow go from left to right? Which way would you start looking when you walk into that room?
The way the shadow went.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. He looks to the left and he's like, "Oh, look, there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here." Delays and then goes to the right.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, "Oh, see, there's nothing in here, nothing in here." Don't buy into him. I don't buy into him. I think he's full of crap. So he finally goes to the right, but the
Yeah.
time that he's looking to the left gives enough time for somebody to come out of the room behind him, and then he goes to the right.
Oh, that's true. Uh-huh. That could be
Hey,
exactly what happened.
what do you feel about people that have to fake evidence like that?
I feel a little sad for them, actually. A little sad and a little annoyed because honestly, there's no reason to fake evidence in this field. Real paranormal investigators know that you're not always going to get evidence. We know that. But if you want to get views, you want to get likes, whatever, you're gonna fake that shit because otherwise you're gonna be spending a lot of time out in the field and less time at home if you do that. But I don't recommend because we ain't stupid. The ones of us that have been investigating for a long time, we know better.
And here's the thing, like, I don't have to fake evidence. You don't have to do that. Like,
Mhm.
you will eventually get the golden egg. It'll
Mhm.
happen. I have only been full-time investigating for a year now,
Yep.
and I got the golden egg. Like, I got the golden egg video.
Yeah.
Um,
And you're
like,
happy with that, you
I'm
know? Like,
happy with that. If I don't catch anything else
mm,
the rest of my career,
yeah.
I'm good. I have got the golden egg. I just have fun doing it. I don't know. Like, do you have a golden egg?
I do not on camera. I don't. I
That's
have
why you
most the problem with me is I go in and I have equipment and but I just want to be in the moment. Like I don't want to be distracted by gadgets and gizmos and stuff. I just want to listen. I just want to be a medium most of the time. I love science. I do. I love science and I love being able to have the backup of the evidence of the EVPs and of the lights going off and all the evidence, equipment, stuff like that. But let somebody else do it. Like that's how I feel half the time. Like they can put their equipment out. I'll just be here. I'll be my own tool for the night, you know? So I don't have footage like I wish I did.
and that's what I tell people, and it's very hypocritical of me because I've got probably 3 grand worth of paranormal equipment sitting behind me right now.
Yeah.
But sometimes the best piece of equipment you can use is your body
Right.
and your cell phone camera
Right.
or the audio recorder on your cell
Mhm.
phone. That's some of the best equipment.
Yeah. Well, and you talked about body cams. That's actually something I've been thinking about getting too, so that I can just hook it up and I don't have to touch it. It's already there. It's there with me. It's experiencing with me, you know. So that's definitely.
Or they got the GoPro mount that, like, it's, like, strapped, and then you can
Yep.
have the GoPro right here. I'm
Yep.
looking at doing, like, one of that with one of my IR cameras because they use the same, um, mount system. So
Yep.
I'm thinking about doing something like that and just, "Hey, cool. I have a battery pack on it. It's keeping it charged, and we're good to go." just so I can, catch stuff, or have
Right.
one that like hangs down and is looking at me so you can see my scared face and hear me scream like a little girl. Uh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
for sure.
that'd be funny. Well, Clarissa, is there anything else that you would like to share before?
Um, do me a favor if you're watching this from my channel, go follow the Sharp Side of Paranormal. What are you on? Facebook and YouTube?
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok,
TikTok?
to the TikTok people that I actually don't even know if there's anybody in the TikTok. It says there's 14 total views, but it doesn't say like how many people are actually watching. I don't
So
know. Don't
so
care.
definitely go follow them, guys. So show your support. Also, show your support here. And just look forward to January 10th. We'll be live on my page and live on Things Network as always, and YouTube. So you guys can see what the new series is going to be about. I'm
Are,
looking forward to it.
are you going to be doing a live during the Pythias investigation on New Year's?
I don't know yet. I haven't thought about it.
Well, if I'm not there, you should do one. That'd be cool.
Okay. just so you, yep. Yay! I heard some of the ladies from BAM was coming.
I I have to talk to my wife because we don't have my son, or our son. I apologize, our son, but we have our daughter.
Yeah.
But maybe we can find a babysitter or something. I don't know. I don't
How old,
know.
may I ask how old? My 11-year-old's gonna be there. I'm just saying.
She's 2.
Oh.
You don't trust me, you don't want her there.
Yeah.
Oh, A and M. I'll be in Florida.
Okay.
Boo, boo on B.
I only got to wave hi to them during Unity because I was so busy. I got like no break during Unity. I was busy. So I met them. I met the BAM goals, but I just said hi.
They're absolutely fun to investigate with.
That's what I
Just
hear. I
don't
hear awesome
follow
things.
Melanie and after she uses the bathroom. I made the mistake at the Monroe House of doing that, and I had to draw my eyebrows back on. Um, it was funny in the enjoy the Pythias.
We will. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I am actually going to be sleeping overnight there. I did not invite everybody to, but I will be sleeping overnight there. So I'm looking forward to that.
I don't sleep overnight at locations. I do
You
not do it.
you will eventually, I'm telling you.
I probably will. You know
You'll
what?
get tired of not doing it.
I'm gonna sleep on the 5th floor of the Waverly.
I don't know if they'll let you.
Really?
I don't know.
If you do a private,
I don't know about private. I only did a public.
I'm gonna get a private. I did for the first time a few weekends ago. Yeah. All right, people. Just remember, when I get to 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I think I'm at 94 now. So
Ooh.
once we get to 500, I am giving away a $50 Ghost Stop gift card. All you got to do to be entered in the drawing is go to my Facebook, The Sharp Side of Paranormal. There is a pinned post. Make sure you like and comment on that. And then once I get to 500 subscribers on my YouTube, I will draw a name out of a hat, and that person will get a $50 gift card to Go Stop. So, which is
Awesome.
always nice because their stuff is awesome and also expensive. So, and then once we get to 1,000, after we get to the 500 mark, when we're going to the 1,000 mark, I'm going to do something really, really special and really expensive. But we will get to that once we get to the 500. I would like to get to 500 by the end of the year. Don't know if that's going to happen. It's 22 days away. So
Good
anyway,
luck.
remember, like and subscribe. Go follow Clarissa on Unveil Paranormal. Facebook, Instagram, anything, YouTube,
TikTok, YouTube.
TikTok. The,
I got
the
my
t-
own website now. Go check it out.
yes, I've been seeing that. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Well, Clarissa, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Okay. Yep,
And
absolutely. I enjoyed being here.
all right, you guys all have a good one.